Hello everybody, Maven here, and everybody knows the Lucky Pants as one of the all-time burst DPS kings of Destiny 2. It gives your hand cannons a massive damage buff to do crazy DPS if only for a few seconds. And historically, there were two hand cannons that had restrictions with the Lucky Pants, and that was the Hawkmoon and the Sturm. You know, because Sturm has those overcharged shots and Hawkmoon has its final round in the mag, which does significant damage, and these things have always been disabled with the Lucky Pants due to how game-breaking that they might be. But with this brand new Ashen Iron update, these things now work with the Lucky Pants. So how good are they? Well, we're gonna find that out today, so let's get to it. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 gaming supplement in the world. Use code MAVEN at checkout for 10% off. Link down below. Thank you. Alright, so I'm sure you already know what the Lucky Pants do, but I still gotta break it down for the 3 people here who might be new to the game. So it improves your movement and handling with hand cannons, but also when you freshly draw a hand cannon, every hit you do gives you a stacking damage bonus. So I'll demonstrate how it works here in the shooting range. I'm going to pull out my hand cannon and shoot Carl, and you can see that damage bonus stacking on the left side of the screen, stacks up to 10 times, and once that short timer runs out, the buff goes away, and then you get that out of luck debuff, and you can't do this again until that out of luck runs out. Get it? Got it? Good. So now we're going to do a damage comparison between a lot of different hand cannons to see which one is the best at burst DPS. The Crimson is a pretty underrated option because it is the only 3-round burst hand cannon in the game, so it gets those 10 stacks of Lucky Pants faster than anything else, and after 1 mag we get a burst DPS of 1670. I wish that it had just a slightly bigger mag size, like 30 in the mag, so we can get off a couple more bursts, because there was still a little bit of time left. And next there is the Malfeasance, and this one is excellent with the Lucky Pants because after you land 5 shots with it, it does that little needler halo burst thing where it hits them 5 additional times, and that counts towards the Lucky Pants stack, so it stacks up very quickly as well. And the other great thing about the Malfeasance is that little 5-round bursting that happens after landing 5 shots has no range fall off, so you can hit something from across the map and then the Lucky Pants will still put in the work. So despite this being the 2nd worst DPS on our list of things today, I would still argue it's the best because of the ease of use and the infinite range. And next we have the Warden's Law, which is typically the go-to to use for DPS purposes with the Lucky Pants. It's a 2-round burst hand cannon, so it stacks up pretty quickly with the Lucky Pants. It has 4th times a charm and Vorpal Weapon, which is a solid DPS roll, and it does more than the Malfeasance at 1848. And the best thing about it is that it's legendary, so you free up your exotic slot to use for like your heavy or something, which is very important. But despite doing 139 more DPS, I would still argue the Malfeasance is better, not only because of the infinite range, but also because the Malfeasance is the one hand cannon on our list today that does not require any crits to do very good DPS. But now we come to some of our new options to use with the Lucky Pants, starting off with the Hawkmoon, which has that Paracausal Charge perk, so when you land crits, it gives you the stacking damage bonus, so the last round in your magazine will do heavily increased damage based on the number of stacks you have. And similar to the Crimson, the Hawkmoon doesn't have a big enough mag to take full advantage of the entire timer on the Lucky Pants, but after 1 mag, our burst DPS is 1590. And that is our lowest DPS on our list of things today, which is honestly surprising because that last Paracausal Charge shot did over 3000 damage, so I expected more. But now we come to our other newly buffed option, the Sturm. So the way this thing works is when you get kills with the Drang sidearm, it will load overcharged shots into the Sturm, which stacks up to 25 times. You can have up to 37 rounds in the magazine. And for the longest time, these overcharged shots did not interact with the Lucky Pants, but now they do. So let's check out its DPS. After 12 shots, we get a DPS of 1922, which is the highest of the day so far. That's 74 more DPS than the meta Warden's Law, albeit it does take up the exotic slot and you really have to jump through a lot of hoops to get that online. But that is a lot of burst damage. Comparing that against a bait and switch edge transit grenade launcher, that does 1866 burst DPS after 1 mag. So just put that into perspective of just how strong these hand cannons are with the Lucky Pants. It's ridiculous. And just for the heck of it, while we're here, let's test out the Ariana's Vow so we can cover all the hand cannons, and it does by far the most at 2478, although it is the only special ammo hand cannon on our list today. But anyways, now we beg the question, is the Sturm and Drang back on the menu once again after so many years? I would say yes and no. It can do things, it's strong, and I wanted to try it out in the Grandmaster, but I had to use it in Master content in the background gameplay because the unstable core system is a plague to the game right now, and it's impossible to infuse things because those things run out like crazy. So I literally did not have the materials to infuse any gear, so I had to drop the difficulty down to Master. But still in Master, it put in the work. Drang with Incandescent and like that Infinite Radiance with Ember of Empyrean, we just shred through everything, no problem. Whenever there was something bigger, I just whip out the Sturm and it just absolutely shreds them. Like I literally just showed, it does more burst DPS than a bait and switch heavy grenade launcher, so it's no slouch, puts in the work, very, very powerful. But if you're doing Grandmaster content with a bunch of modifiers on, the Drang is going to be a pea shooter. You're not going to be killing anything with that, so it's going to be less viable as the content gets harder. But if you're doing easy content, then sure, this combo could put in the work. So if you're someone who likes to do more chill content, then this may be something for you. Now while we're here, I might as well cover the build that I am using in case some of you guys maybe wanted to try it out. So we're on Solar today. Got Gunpowder Gamble, knock them down, Torches, Empyrean, Singeing, and then Solace. Solace is not super required. You can replace it with Searing if you wanted to. You can go either way, doesn't really matter. And then on to our mod setup, we got triple surges. I got 1 solar for our Drang because we're maining that a majority of the time. So in all honesty, I should go 2 solar, 1 kinetic, but I'm rocking 2 kinetic so we can make our Sturm do some very heavy DPS. And then to help out our armor charge, we got Charged Up, Time Dilation. To make orbs, we got Heavy Handed, Reaper, Solar Siphon. And when we dodge, we proc Dynamo for super energy and powerful attraction to scoop up the orbs around us. And because we're throwing a lot of knives, we got Hands On as well as Focusing Strike. And then to top it all off, got double resists on the chest. And for your stats of this build, I just recommend dumping it all into your weapon stats since this build is heavily based around gunplay. And that about does it for the build. Now, the Sturm and Drang are meta at the moment because of the game-breaking bug that you can do with the Sturm. And honestly, by the time this video is uploaded, I would not be surprised if the Sturm is disabled. But from a casual standpoint, using the Sturm as intended, it's all right. I'd give it maybe like a 5 out of 10. It's fun, it's good for easier content, but yeah, not in harder content. But anyways, if that's the type of player you are, and if you'd like to give the build a try, as always, a dim loadout link to the build will be down below in the description and also the pinned comment if you'd like to try it out. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and drop a comment, because doing those things helps out a ton. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you here for more Ash and Iron content on the way. Got a lot of builds in the works releasing throughout the next couple weeks, so hope you stay tuned for more, and I will catch you in the next video. See you later.